gentlemen, welcome to another new rock album review show with me, Nigel, and my MPJ crew. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to Trish, to William, to Dom, and to Lauren. If you're tuning in to the show for the first time, we review the latest rock albums and rate them out of 5. And hey, if you like what you see, and hit like, subscribe, leave a comment. What did you think of what we're doing? The current album that we are going to be listening to is, we hope it was pronounced right, Impelliteri, and their album War Machine. Dun, dun, dun. First time we've listened to this band. Trish, if you want to know more about Impelliteri, read the bio. I'll put it all on the information in the video, so please read all of that. Trish, let's start with you then. What did you think?
So, album covers are an integral part to an album. The artwork can give you a hint of what is to come, or maybe not, at times. Hence the saying, never judge a book or album by its cover. But hey, in this instant, for Impelliteri, who I'd never heard of, I was pretty much sure War Machine was going to be a really heavy metal album. And I did have to chuckle to myself while looking at the track listing, because the second track, Out of My Mind, and then in brackets, heavy metal, which they do sing in the song. So you're stating the obvious there, right? It did make me smile. There is no doubting this album takes you back to the glory days of 80s heavy metal. For me, notably the track Gone Insane, which I enjoyed most from the album. In my teenage years, when I got into rock in the 80s, I was the softer side of metal and didn't enjoy the heavier ears bleeding sound. But as I have got older, I appreciate it more, and a lot of the heavier albums have been added to my music collection. There is no doubting if you're into classic guitars galore, you won't be disappointed with this album. And War Machine proves that Impelliteri are at the top of their game when it comes to good old heavy metal.
Talk about good old whatever, William.
Yes. Let's start with the positives, shall we? This is like the single coolest album cover I've seen for an album. Now on to the negatives. I did not like this at all. It is just like it's not me at all. It's the really waily old rock metal vocals from the times before me, which I just can't get behind, and they just grate on me, and they just really annoy me and make me angry, but not in a good musical way. It's a drag for me. It's obviously not my cup of tea. Shockingly, I know. I will be polite and stop being rude.
Somebody who's always rude, because it's just rude, really. Let's see if you can be rude about this one. Dom?
Yeah. Well, listen, look. Apparently, they've been going for 40 years. And, if I live another 40 years from now and I never have to hear this band again, then I think I've lived a good life, with one small blip in it in the middle when I had to listen to this album. From the first bar, you have this totally pointless fretboard wanking. That's all I can call it, really. It's like it's the early 90s, and I'm riding around on my high top boots, listening to Rainbow with Beavis and Butthead, and watching Wayne's World. It's just like that, It's like, just as we've already pointed out, they have a song in which they feel they need to mark it out as heavy metal in a brackets after the title. What are they doing? Like, no shit, Sherlock. To me, it's all just a million different heavy metal memes bolted together, really. And it all becomes really meaningless and boring. It actually gave me a headache listening to the album, and it's the double beat kick drums, which is just relentless all the way through with like no variation. I think the drummer has got one speed and one beat that he knows, and he just stuck with that for like 45 minutes or however long this travesty carried on for.
We can safely say it wasn't your tea.
Yeah, it was no, not my favourite.
Oh, it's a shame.
So, what was the term again you used? Fretboard wanking, did you say? Is that what you said? Yeah, okay.
It's fretboard wanking. It's all this like all that stuff.
Lauren, can you redeem War Machine here? What did you think?
Oh, I think I need to learn how to breathe again after that. Oh, well, how did you follow that, eh? For me, I don't know if it was like flavour fatigue, like with all the power metal and stuff like that we'd listened to this month. But positives. Let's start there. So it's a bit cheesy in places, which I appreciate. Like, it's not too bad on that front. It's a tried and true tested method of doing this style of music. But it's nothing like new or fresh. I think it is purely like nostalgia listens and stuff like that. Like when we were listening to Trish saying how it took her back to the metal that used to be of that style back in the 80s and stuff like that. Of course, my appreciation for it is not going to be as high because, like Will, it is pre my existence and time, and the people in my life who would have listened to that didn't. So maybe it's just a flavour that I've not acquired yet. It's a taste I've not acquired. I'll be interested to see where things go, but for me, this album just wasn't it. It just didn't tick the boxes for me. But yeah, I'm prepared to keep microdosing myself with this sort of music in hopes of liking it, but a bit more. But yeah, this wouldn't be one of the doses that I choose, unfortunately.
Now, let's hope that Trish gives us a good old dose of cheeriness and happiness, and see what she thinks. What do you think, Trish? Have you already?
I've already done mine.
But
one ear and the other. That's you listening to me.
I was just clutching the straws, I think. That's probably why. I was trying to look for some more positivity.
It's your turn, then.
I tell you what, I'm going to give it some positivity because I thought it was all right, actually. It wasn't perfect, but I thought I liked it, okay? I liked it. It was almost touching on thrash metal, but didn't quite go as far as thrash metal. I really like that. I like that nostalgic kind of feel. I think for me, it was a generic kind of album from that late 80s, 90s, yes, but it was really well done. It was incredibly well performed. There's some cheesy kind of naff lyrics in there, but I think overall it was pretty good. I think I like when bands of that sort of era and generation come and they add something a little bit new to that, and that was what was, I think, lacking in this album. It didn't kind of try to go anything different or bring anything kind of new. We've you look at some of the bands we've back end of last year, like New Roses, for example, who were very much kind of that ilk of that the Bon Jovi sort of area, but they brought something new and fresh to it as well. This kind of didn't, but I still enjoyed the album. It did take me back. It was a bit of a nostalgic ride, pretty solid, really well performed. Didn't quite go into that thrash metal kind of genre, which is perfectly done. Drumming was really good. Didn't give me a headache. Give me a head. I was headbanging to it rather than a headache. I mean, that's rich coming from you metalcore sycophants. You know what I mean? I mean, we just get screamed at. I mean, that's a headache. That's like that's just headache on speed. That is. God, you bloody hypocrites. But I love you all. In the meantime, let's find out then. Let's find out. Maybe what Simon. Maybe Simon loved it. Not. And let's find out our voting then, shall we? Trish, let's start with you then.
3.
William?
1.
1. It's been a while since you've given a 1, in fairness.
Very generous.
I know.
I mean, I'm normally more harsh.
You are. Dom?
I'm a nice guy and very generous too.
Lauren?
2.5.
Simon also give this a 2. Whereas I redeemed it with a 3.5. So there we go. Scored. We're going to drop William's 1. William, your 1. It never existed. It never happened. It's gone. We don't care about it. We don't love it. Which means it scored 13. Got a 2.6. So just nipped over above average. Just nip it over above average on that score as well. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. What did you think about War Machine? You diehard fans, or maybe it's the first time. So check it out. Let us know what you think. Hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Keep on rocking and keep on tuning in. Goodbye for now. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Bye.